At the Faywhat Show, we want to introduce you to interesting people that are important to our LGBTQ plus community. I'm so excited about my next guest in bed with me this morning. This week, I have invited a person who is very special to the LGBTQ plus community. She's a wife, she's a mom, she's a cancer survivor, a business owner, and former candidate for Florida State Senate in Miami-Dade. Her name is Janelle Perez. She is openly gay and currently trying to figure out what's the best way to fight the horribly anti-LGBTQ plus policies that are coming out of Tallahassee right now? After graduating from Florida International University, FIU, Janelle moved to Washington, D.C. and began her career on Capitol Hill, honing her policy analysis skills. And as a mother, first-generation American and businesswoman, she ran for Florida State Senate to fight for opportunities for every child and family in 2022. Janelle is passionate about her family, her wife, and their two beautiful girls. She hates seeing people being mistreated and no one stepping up. She also wants to remind everyone how important it is to vote. Janelle Perez. Okay. I'm my own audience. Okay. So.
Okay.
We love her.
Thank you.
How are you, Mama?
I'm
How
great.
you doing?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the things that I'm passionate about now.
Yeah.
Getting to pick and choose where I spend my time. Been joining a couple of political boards.
Ooh, I like
so that I can stay active. But for the most part, enjoying every minute of being a mom and hanging out with my wife and making up for the time that I lost during the campaign.
Well, you didn't lose it. Because, I mean, I know that you learned a lot about yourself. I know that your wife also learned a lot about you as a unit, you know. But I tell you know, and so let me apologize on behalf of DeSantis and all those horrible people that are taking you away from your retirement, you know, because you can't, you know, you really can't stop fighting.
Yeah.
It's in you.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not running for an office right now, but here you are sitting here in bed. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you was because, you know, Janelle, I didn't give a shit about politics until Trump. I didn't. And I wish I could sit here and lie to you and say I did, but I really didn't, you know, and it wasn't until that all of a sudden my rights, my fears came up and I was like, okay, let me start paying attention. You know, I need to know what the hell's going on to me and my community. And, you know, and here we are. And so I'm full of fear still. You know, when Biden got elected, I kind of was like, oh, okay, maybe there's hope, right?
Yeah, but we still have Ron DeSantis.
But we still have Ron DeSantis. And so I'm full of fear. And I figured that you would be the easiest person to talk to about my fears, because I know that my fears aren't only my fears. They're all our community's fears, you know? Are you tired of fighting?
No, absolutely not. So after the 2022 election, I mean, I had a pretty good idea that Ron DeSantis was going to win. Unfortunately, I did not foresee the outcome of my election in specific. I had a little bit of an idea, but not that much. My wife and I sat down and we were like, okay, Florida is really not embracing us, and I don't want to believe that that's true. I don't want to believe that Florida is rejecting the LGBTQ community. I think for a majority of folks, people are embracing of us here, the people that live in Florida. I just think those people didn't go out and vote. And that's why I am very, very passionate about getting people to go vote. Voting is your biggest form of protest. It's the biggest, for whoever said that voting doesn't matter or my vote counts. Our legislature, the Florida legislature, wouldn't be trying so hard to silence it. They wouldn't be trying to make it so hard to go vote if your vote didn't matter.
And we're seeing that right now for those folks that were like, I'm an ally or I'm part of this community, I'm going to go vote. And then they did it. And then we see the people put into power in these different chairs that were up for grabs. And now we're on the negative end of this big time.
And I think a big part of the reason why a lot of those people didn't go out and vote, the people that are allies and all of that stuff, I think it was our job I'm a Democrat. I think it was our job as Democrats to go out there and give them a better reason than just, I need you to do this for me. Because sometimes when you go and you ask a friend and you say like, hey, I need you to just do this for me, sometimes they're less inclined. But when you make it about something that's important to them as well, they'll tend to do it more often. If we were to talk about how basic human rights also impacts your pocketbook and the economy here in Florida, if we were to make that connection and really connect the dots for people, I think a lot more people would be inclined to vote and to vote for candidates who are going to fight for basic human rights and basic human decency.
Because that's what it is. It's basic human rights.
Yeah.
And that was why, we were always divided into Republican and Democrat. And then that's a completely different thing. Not all Republicans are right-wing crazy people that don't think that we should be alive.
I will say this, but I used to be a Republican. I was a Republican until the Tea Party. When the Tea Party movement started to happen, and I worked for Congresswoman Ileana Ross-Lehtinen when I was in DC. I think when everything just really, for me, seeing the Tea Party movement and seeing then Donald Trump, Donald Trump was the nail on the coffin. It was what made Republicans just fall off the deep end for me, and it just became a party that was unrecognizable to me. I don't think that we are. And I spent a lot of my campaign talking about this. We are not all just Democrat and just Republican. People labeled me as a Democrat and not being pro-business, not being all of these things. But how can you say that? I own a business.
You are a business owner. Yeah.
Every single thing. Yes.
Owner.
Every single thing that I have is through business and learning from my family and our family business. And even now I sit here and I'm telling you, I'm enjoying my free time, but I've really got 10 different projects that I'm trying to,
and 4 different boards that you're probably going to be on, knowing you.
Trying to, yes, there's things that I'm trying to work on that are business and entrepreneurial. And that is, so I think here in Florida, and I think those things that we attach, those stereotypes that we attach to these parties, they're not true.
Yeah.
And for the folks that are not interested in politics, I mean, God, I've never seen so much gossip and chismeria and just everything.
If you like shade, you should get into politics.
Politics is so listen, just pick up the popcorn, or make some popcorn and sit back, because this is, especially in Florida, the drama and the I'm not going to put people on blast, but there is a lot of shady things happening up there in Tallahassee.
I bet there's a lot of shady shit going on down here.
Yes, it's dirty. It's crazy.
Look, so another one of the reasons that solidified the fact that I wanted to sit here and have this conversation with you is that you're Cuban, right? First generation?
Yes.
Here. You live down south. Right? Pinecrest, you know. And so my mother-in-law lives in Westchester, right? In Westchester, right? Here she does? Okay. So every time I go visit her, I see all the Cubans outside Tropical Park.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
And and it's hard because my wife's Cuban, the family's Cuban, and and she's like, that's not the kind of Cuban I am.
But don't take away their Obamacare. Don't take away their Social Security.
Exactly, but that's the thing. So how is it that you are voting so far Republican, but you're getting Medicare when you're here a month? So please explain to me, as the Cuban American that you are, how that's possible.
I think it goes back to messaging, and it goes back to the fact that Republicans are standing outside of these Obamacare or Affordable Care Act centers, and they're literally registering people to vote outside, and they're doing it with a bunch of misinformation. They're standing at the citizenship ceremonies and the naturalization ceremonies, and they're going back. The people walk out, and they're standing right there, ready to register to them to vote.
I did not know that.
People are unaware, and we as Democrats are failing at sharing that message. We should be the ones that are out there at the Affordable Care Act, at the Obamacare centers, saying, hey, did you know that this program was provided to you by Democrats? Here, register to vote.
Yeah.
Vote to keep this going. Because if you don't, the other side, they're voting to cut it. They want to take it away.
Yeah.
And then for your naturalization, hey, until you became a citizen, these guys wanted you out.
Yeah.
They didn't want you here. They wanted to make it harder for you to live here. They wanted to you're what? Illegal. That's what they called you up until this moment.
Yeah.
So I think we all need to do better, but I think we all need to do our part.
Yeah.
When I started my campaign, we had countless opportunities for people to come out and knock on doors and talk to folks with me. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to be at farmers markets throughout my district, just talking to people about the things that were important to them, not about Democrats, not about Republicans, but just what are the issues that are impacting you today, and how can our government make your life better? Because that is what we pay taxes for.
Yeah.
No one showed up to volunteer. No one, and I know, I get it. It's hard. It's Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Saturday, you're knocking on doors, or people are slamming doors in your face. I've done it. Thank you, Orlando.
It's not that bad. When you go to farmers markets, or you go to any of these things, and sometimes you have great conversations, and sometimes you don't. But if you're able to change like one mind, you knock on 20 doors and you're able to get one good conversation, like that's a good thing.
Then it was worth it.
Absolutely.
But we have to do that
go talk to other people.
But we have to do that with everybody.
Yeah.
And that's like, to answer my question about the crazy Cubans that I love you Cubans. I still don't understand the Republican thing. It's a comunismo, and it's like, what? Like, okay,
Yeah, keep your socialist hands off my, off my Medicare and my Medicaid and my Social Security and all of that
but
stuff.
Biden no sirve.
But yeah, but like, it's wild to me, but
but one person at a time,
sense.
like you said, right? One person at a time at your kitchen table, over your colada, just, maybe not go to Versailles and scream about our rights. Maybe not the right place to go, but
why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? We should. Versailles is just as much ours, and I mean this as Democrats, as a part of the LGBTQ community, as a woman, whatever. Versailles is just as much ours as it is anyone else's. It's a public establishment, or a private establishment in a public place. They provide services to every single person. So why not? Why are we so afraid to go and have those difficult conversations? We shouldn't be.
And we can't be right now.
No, we can't.
And we really can't be.
We can't.
Janelle, drag queens, okay? The drag queen ban.
I'm a fan.
I know you are.
Of the drag queens.
I know you are. No, I know you're a fan of the drag queens. I know. I stalk you. Can this really be enforced? Can this really be happening?
I mean, can it be enforced? I have no idea. I mean, we talk about the 6-week abortion, and we wonder how that's going to even be enforced without violating HIPAA laws. But I don't know. I mean, I think what can happen is that they start closing down establishments, and they start taking away liquor licenses. Which
are like a number one way we make money.
Exactly, which is already happening. But I think that that's the way that they really crack down on it, unfortunately, which I would hope that they would start shutting down some Hooters as well, because that seems pretty provocative to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but listen, Hooters, okay?
I mean, I'm a fan of Hooters.
I'm a fan of Hooters. I'm a fan of the outfit.
On
I really am.
Lesbian National Visibility Day, we are both fans of Hooters.
We are very much fans of Hooters, but we also know that we feel like it's okay to marginalize women. It's okay. No, we're used to that. Sexualizing women, that's fine. No one even questions that. But like going back to like my, I love my mother-in-law, but she's a Trumpster, and she's, a little crazy. And some of the stuff that she believes, I'm like, no, you don't really, come on, you don't, they really do believe that drag queens are going into our schools and like injecting kids with things to make them gay. I know that sounds crazy, world, but they really think this, Janelle.
Yeah, and it's wild because that's never actually happened. And like when we go back to that, like I'm a parent. If I felt like it, if I wanted to take my daughter with me to a drag show, like what happened to parental rights? Mm-hmm. We just passed a bunch of legislation called parental rights. What happened to my right to be able to decide what my daughter like goes and does and sees on the weekends? And if she wants to get a book, if my wife and I decide that we want a drag queen to read a book to my daughter, like who cares?
Yeah.
Like, but it's okay for some half-naked lady to feed my daughter wings at Hooters? Like, please tell me how this is okay. And like, not just that, like every drag show that I've seen, a majority of them, unless it's late at night at a club, 18 or 21 and over, they're not sexualized.
No.
So it's just, I mean, it's a performance. It's theater. It's an art.
It's an art.
It's just beyond me why, but we've noticed, or something that I've always said is like, Republicans always look for a scapegoat. They can't offer you hope. They can't offer you solutions because, first of all, this whole area was flooded.
Yeah.
Our homeowners insurance is going to go up 60% next year.
Where was DeSantis?
Oh,
okay.
He was
on a book tour.
Yeah.
I'm busy on a book tour. Fort Lauderdale está inundiéndose. Okay,
Yeah.
It's flooded. It was a 1 in 1,000-year flood, folks. Look it up.
Yeah. They don't have solutions for these problems that we are all facing. Serious problems, whether you're gay, straight, bi, whatever you are. We are all facing these very serious economic problems. They haven't had any solutions for these things. FP&L keeps going up, keeps getting approved to go up. All of these crazy things. So what do? To get support is that they give you fear. They don't have solutions. They don't have hope. They have fear. So they create this fear. And for some reason, the LGBTQ community has always been that source of that fear. A couple of years ago, it was the bathroom ban.
Yeah.
Now it's the drag queens. Like, what's going to happen next? Like, it's wild to me. But we need to call them out on it. And everybody needs to call them out on it.
Everybody needs to call them out on it.
And we need to vote like it matters. Again, please tell me when a person of the LGBTQ community, like think hard, has taken away an opportunity from you. Or the people that are watching, that an opportunity has been taken away from you by a person of the LGBTQ community because they have rights. The truth is, it's never
happened.
So why is this what our governor and the Republican legislature have decided to go after now? It's insane. It's wild. And again, to the people that voted for Ron DeSantis and the Republican legislature that we have right now, what have they done to make your day-to-day life better? They own the libs and they got the drag queens, but you're still paying an insane amount of money for your homeowner's insurance.
Double.
Yeah, you're still struggling. You still can't put food on the table. Things haven't gotten cheaper.
Yeah.
So what?
I mean, Janelle, I know 2 people that have had to leave Florida. Florida has been an easy state to you can get any little job and get yourself an apartment for less than $1,000 and be fine. That doesn't exist anymore.
No.
So I know 2 single women that because their income was just not enough, they had to leave. And I know that they're not in I know that there's more people out there that are probably struggling through the same thing. I'm afraid for our LGBTQ plus teachers, Janelle. I've got clients. I have a doggy boarding company, you guys know. And one of my clients is an incredible high school teacher in Miami Beach, And I'm like, what are you going to do? He's like, look, I'm just going to be me. And if something happens, I'm fine. Fire me. Yeah. But I mean, he's got a husband who's got a great job and they'll be okay. That's not the case for every LGBTQ plus teacher.
No, it's not. And it's not. And it's our community and it's every single person. We are being pushed out of Florida because it's become so incredibly unaffordable. And the other side of the argument is, it's bringing up the value of my home and my property. And this is great for us. This is awesome. And our homes are doing so well and all of this stuff. Yeah. But what are you going to do when you don't have a workforce? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do when the people that work in what keeps us functioning as a society can't work? We saw what happened during COVID. We needed everybody to go to work at Whole Foods. We needed and Publix and take out our trash and to do all of these things. We need our workforce. So cool, you could keep your house and then the value has gone up and now you're selling your Westchester house for $2 million. Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? And it's just, it doesn't make, I always have this saying of make Florida make sense or make Miami voters make sense. And this is one of those make them make sense because I don't have the answer.
Yeah, no. And we're in crazy world right now, but it's exactly like you said. It's okay, well, look at this instead of dealing with with the real problems, you know, our trans sisters are being killed at an alarming rate, especially Black and brown. All right.
It's awful.
And we all talk about it, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah, I know. And it's can you imagine if these white women or even these Hispanic heterosexual women would talk about LGBTQ issues or drag queens or just any of this stuff, the way that they talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or something like that. I feel like our problems would be solved and they just don't. It's really sad. It's sad that trans women that get killed don't get the same kind of attention that, you know, that everyone else does. I mean, look, you brought it, like, I kind of overheard you talk one time about the girl that drove into a driveway and got shot.
Yeah.
There was, along with that story in that same week, there was another girl who was also not accidentally, but was also shot, and it was a black girl. She's not on TV as much as this white girl is at all.
And so, the same crime happened to her.
Exactly. It's the same thing. I think it was that she got into a car, her and her friends were in a parking lot at a gas station. She got into the wrong car. The guy got out of the car, followed her to the correct car, and then just shot them. It's wild, but you know, that's the media, and that's us. I mean, I think us as a society and us as a community of LGBTQ people need to continue to show up for one another.
We have.
Right now, our trans, the T, needs the most help. So this is the moment that we all need to step up for those women, because at the end of the day, our movement started with them.
It's true. Yeah, Stonewall. I mean, they were the ones who threw the first brick, and we can't ever forget that. And we need something like that now.
Yeah.
Janelle. Like, you know, you touched on it a little bit on the 6 week, for abortions. I'm not proud of it, but I'm glad that I had the option, right? In my younger days, I was not ready to have a child, and the person that I was impregnated by was not someone that I wanted to have in my life forever. Yeah. And as a mom, so I made that difficult choice. But the freaking reality is that I didn't even know till month 2.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't me, woohoo, I'm a party girl, blah, blah. It just really my body was what it was. And I did not know until it was month 2. So fast forward, if that was now, I would be forced to have that child.
Yes. Having access to abortion is access to healthcare. It is not only like a family decision, but it's an economic decision, because and it is fiscally conservative to decide to not have a child.
Yes.
And isn't
that what we want? Are we always saying like, oh, you're having all those kids, I don't want to pay for them, right? But I mean, I guess we do want to pay for them.
Yeah, and like, who's gonna adopt them? Oh, put them up for adoption. Who? Every single person that I've ever spoken to that says, oh, but you could always put them up for adoption, I've asked, have you ever adopted a child? And they're like, no, that's not for me. So who exactly is it that you want to adopt these children? It's just, it's for me, it's wild. The abortion ban it's sickening. You know, my daughters, I have 2 girls, one that's about to be 6, one that just turned 1, and they're growing up in a Florida, just being women, being girls, they're growing up in a Florida that gives them less rights than when I was growing up in Florida. And I'm still in my childbearing years. And I mean, thank God I'm a lesbian, because it's not going to happen for me. Like, there's no oopsies here. Yeah. But yeah, I think about my girls, and I am fortunate, and my girls are fortunate that we have the resources that if that difficult decision ever needed to be made, they could leave. The women that are going to be impacted this in staggering numbers are going to be the Black and brown women, especially the Black women. Yep. The women that don't have the resources and that can't leave, those are the ones. And on top of that, we talk about the female mortality rate when they give birth, when women give birth. It's so much higher in Black women than it is in everyone else. So this bill, this ban, is going to impact our society so much. And I mean, the way that, I mean, I'm not surprised with the way that our legislature does these things. We last election said that they were going to do all of these things. They're doing exactly what they said they would do. Yeah. So
why are we surprised, right?
I mean, no, we're not. I don't think anyone in our community, I don't think anyone's really surprised. I think what's surprising is the Republicans that are now like, oh my God, Ron DeSantis has gone too far. And it's like, bitch, come on. Like,
hello.
Like, I've been telling you this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Hi, Janelle, Dios mío. We have a lot of work to do. So here at the Faywhat Show, we always try to play like a game with our interview folks, just a way to get to know you better, right? And it's just kind of like, I call it now the first thing that comes up, right?
Okay.
Ding, right?
Okay.
So the first thing that comes up, and I'll give you an example. So like I'll say black.
Brown.
And you would say brown. Okay, you know, and you see, just like that, there's no wrong answer. You're like,
Sorry,
I don't want to take this test. I'm an No, I can tell you're an overachiever.
I don't want to cross my hands. I'm like,
oh, what is that? No, what is that? Then I got sweaty and then I smelled myself. No, okay.
What is that? I forgot that movie.
Superstar.
Molly, yeah.
Yes, Molly Shannon. That was it. All right, okay, here we go. So, lightning round, and we're going to go now. Disney.
DeSantis.
Black.
Brown.
Liquor.
Yum.
Drag queens.
Cool.
Doberman.
Pincher.
Roses.
Yes.
Humidity.
Ugh.
Pride.
Fun.
Plants.
Cool.
Dogs.
I have 2.
DeSantis.
Buh.
Pamela Anderson.
Hi.
Fur.
Buh.
Meat.
I'd like a medium rare.
Sexy.
My wife.
Little Nas X.
I don't know a song.
Will Smith.
Is he gay?
No. Oh, is that what you're thinking of? Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
okay, no.
Is he?
Fair. No,
I've heard.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He might be. I mean, you know,
I'm all about Will.
Maybe that's why he slapped what's his face across the face, because he's like, you know.
No. I listen. More power to that couple who is very open but I am curious because he's very handsome. I think the
ears.
You don't think Will Smith is handsome?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I would welcome him into the LGBTQ community. So like, come on, we need more hotties. Like, well, come on over.
What do you think of when I say resting bitch face?
Trump.
Wow, I'll never be able to say resting bitch face again.
His face is very bitchy.
Ugh, God. Okay. Ugh. What's a perfect day for you, Janelle?
Sleeping in. Now that I'm a mom, I enjoy my sleep. So when my wife lets me sleep in, then waking up, going, having breakfast, hanging out by the pool with my girls, and then barbecuing for them and putting them to bed at 7:30 on the dot, and then enjoying wine and dinner with my wife.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it's very simple.
Perfect. That's so perfect. Janelle, lastly, what would you tell our community who's out there just as worried and fearful as I am about all this crap that's going on?
Vote. Like, just vote. It's so simple. It's so fast. It's so everything. It's a huge form of protest. 2024 is literally, I mean, this is going to go by so fast. It's right around the corner. Check if you're registered to vote. If you're not, I mean, if you vote by mail, you have to re-register again because DeSantis wanted to screw everyone over. But if this is the first time that you vote, I'm pretty sure that there's also a new law that just got passed that you have to vote in person for the first time in order to be able to do it. You can't vote by mail for the first time. Go find out all of the information on voting and please go do it. I work a lot with an organization named Save, and Save has been doing the work for a really long time. They have a lot of resources for people on how to vote, where to go register to vote, all of that kind of stuff. And reach out to me. My email is super easy. It's janelle@janelleperez.com. I am happy to send you links to register to vote, but please, voting is so important, because then we end up with where we are now. And I know that redistricting, for the folks that are very into politics, redistricting did happen. They tried to silence our vote. But again, if we go out and vote in droves, and I've said vote 1,000 times, somebody count it, keep voting, just keep going. Tell everybody you know to vote. It's so important.
It sounds simple, but it's the least that you can do.
It's literally
the least that you can do. You know, I'm telling people to just vote. Donate your time, talent, and sweat. Okay? Whatever you can do. If you got some cash, send it over.
Yes. To our community, like to the LGBTQ community, vote like your lives literally depend on it, because right now it really does. It feels like it does.
It does, you know, and let's not forget who we do it for. We do it for the people that come after us.
Yeah.
You know, your beautiful kids that are on your pants right now, right? Like, you know, we don't know if they're going to be LGBTQ plus, but they should be allowed to be whoever they want to be.
They can be whoever they want to
authentically,
be.
without all this crap.
And if I got to move for them to be whoever they want to be, I will do whatever it takes for them to have the most incredible lives.
I love that. You're a great mom.
Thanks.
You know, I met Janelle and her wife when we did a women's panel for Women's History Month a couple of months back, and I was just blown away by just her character, her aura, her professionalism.
Thank you.
You know, your light. And I'm sorry that your ass can't retire and enjoy yourself with your lesbian wife and sit on a couch watching L Word. We don't have time for that shit.
I'm 36. I'm definitely not retiring anytime soon. But like the politics thing, I think I like being on the outside right now. For now. For now.
Which means, you know, listen, follow Janelle Perez on all social media outlets. Send her a message and tell her that she needs to run again.
No, not right now.
In the future, when her kids are older.
Yeah, Florida Democrats, just go out and vote.
Okay, or we can find somebody that maybe you want to vote and you need somebody to look up to and to mentor you. She's perfect for that.
Yes, I'm happy. If you want to run for office, yes, call me. I would love to hear.
There you go. You, and you. You know who you are. The ones that are always talking crap. Oh, they need to do this. They need to do that. You can actually be the one who makes that happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, anyone can do it.
There you go. So, Janelle Perez, make sure that you follow her. She's one of the good guys. She's one of the ones that's making things happen and is shining bright wherever she goes to make sure that others know that we're not going anywhere and we will not be erased. Janelle, thank you for being on my show.
Thank you.
I love you, darling. I love you.
Thank you for having me.
We will be right back. So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the Faywhat show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the Faywhat show. Get the week started with me.